Are you the Wolfman?
No, man, I'm not the Wolfman. Wait a minute.
Who is this on the Wolfman telephone?
Diane.
How you doing, Diane?
All right.
That's the Wolfman.
Do you love me?
He's on tape. The man is on tape.
Say you love me.
Well,
Yeah.
where is he now? I mean, where does he work?
The Wolfman is everywhere.
Oh, yeah, the Wolfman is everywhere, and we have him here today. So that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to bring him out. But before we do that, let me bring out my co-host with the most, Mr. Rad Toys Galaxy. What's up, my man?
Oh, just doing the same old
Same
as
old
last
shit.
day.
Nice t-shirt.
Yeah, it's a long sleeve shirt.
Well, yeah, you're not Josh, so.
Yeah.
You actually
Yeah, my
keep your
shirts,
sleeves
I
on your
always
shirt.
keep them intact. But yeah, no, we got a crazy show lined up for tonight. It's
Ooh, yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of cool people. But before we actually get to the chat, let's bring out our special co-host, Abby. Normally. What's up, girl?
Yeah.
Welcome
up,
to the
guys?
show, man. So happy to have you here. It's going to be a lot of fun today, man. It's going to be so much fun. But now we have the trio here. Let's see who's with us in the chat.
all right. Well, first up here.
Let's see. Yeah, that's your job, man. That's your cue.
All right. No, you just pay me an absorbent salary to do this. So, I should be on. So
I'm
we got
working on that. I'm
Mudhorn
working on that.
Station in the chat tonight.
Hey, what's up, Ian?
We have Joel from Starboy Station. Oh, you'll have to catch the replay. So he's here in spirit.
That's okay. I know he's
Jerry-
working hard.
Yeah, Jerry 904. She's
Awesome.
She's
What's up,
probably
Jerry?
heading to-
Yeah, she's probably about to get to go to work
we
too.
also have the former co-host, Lord of Thane, is in the chat.
Lord of Thane, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother.
We also
What's up?
have Mr. Fat Red Foo is in the chat with us this evening. What is going on, sir?
The
We
Foo
also
Fighters here.
we've got Triple D.
Oh,
out.
Triple D Outpost is here. Awesome. Good to see you,
Mr.
man.
Adrian
Heck yeah.
Forbes, Devastation.
Awesome.
Go check his Instagram page out. He's working on
Yeah,
this, like,
man. He's doing some
crazy
awesome
thing
shit
where-
right now.
He's
Yeah.
done with the floaters. He's on.
The floaters. You and the floaters, man. I can't get
got,
that. Whenever you say Adrian's name, that's always the first thing I think of is the floaters.
I'm sure Adrian's very flattered to be associated
I know,
with
right?
floaters and the opponent's name being announced. Brian from Outer Multiverse is in the chat. We've got
What's up, Brian?
Task Force Stickers and Games.
Just so you know, Brian and Bob have their own show on Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern, Into the Toy Box. So yeah, definitely check them out. Actually, our guest today was on their show, not last week, but the week before. So you can go and check that out because there's going to be some repeats, but the way we're going to approach is completely different. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Who else we got?
Rock and roll. Well, they're trickling in, but yeah.
All right. We'll keep an eye on
That's
that
about it.
as we go through things. So I guess right now we should go actually get our guest. Let's punch it.
All right, hit it.
What's good, people?
The Wolfman is here. You actually kind of look like the Wolfman.
I know, I'm
Especially
getting
in
there.
that video, that the intro that I'm like, that kind of looks
Dude,
like Wolfman.
I can't applaud you enough for that intro, by the way. You
Right.
hit the nail on the head right there.
Intros is my jam. I love doing the intros. It's so much fun. Although the last one I did was with that SNL Star Wars skit.
Okay.
I got hit with a copyright like
Ah.
the next day.
Well, this is
yeah,
in fact a
that's
Lucas production, so we'll see what happens. You might get talked.
I should be okay because I want to use a small little. Clip
He
of
doesn't
it,
care about
so
American Graffiti anymore.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, it was
That
a
was a
wonderful
great-
film. My father and I bonded over that one a good deal.
Yeah, I love that show. Back in the day when things were simple. Not that I
It's
know.
the simpler times.
Wasn't alive then, but our times were pretty close to that kind of stuff, doing the same kind of shit.
Rock and roll. I've seen some good shit.
So good to see you, man. Welcome to the show, Abby. Welcome to the show, our co-hosts. It's so good to have you guys both here. So, Wolfman, what have you been up to lately, brother?
I've been working as much as I can on the station, a couple nights a week. You know, I sent you some pictures. You requested a whip, so I showed you something I've been at. But mainly trying to knock out a few gifts I have for some people, some graffiti walls. I made one of these little bad boys recently for my my buddy
zoom in on that,
nice.
Brain Orgy. Yeah, if you want to do that, there he is.
There you go. Oh, cool.
Heck
He's one of those like Micronaut.
How did
like
you
cast.
make that?
It's just a cast of a Micronaut. Like, you know how the Micronauts came in these little like capsules that you could pop open.
Oh, okay.
So this is one of them. The other one is right over here. It's kind of more of a, Egyptian kind of flow to it there, and not so much a Easter Island feel. But I've been just repainting these, and they're great for like little static props in your station. And I can't get this one to.
I like that, man.
Yeah, this one's going to Brain Orgy. I made one for Starboy over there, cool. And Brain Orgy commented on it, so I'll make one for you, and then quick preview. I'm not going to show it for very long because it's still going to be a surprise to my buddy. But this one here is going out to Garden Palmer BB.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh,
and he's a fan of anime and other such things, and so I just kind of
cool.
Homies from Compton. So yeah, we had a lot to talk about.
How do you do that, man? Like, I don't understand how you guys. Well, I obviously you're an artist, but
that's very kind of you. Thank you.
It's crazy, man. Like, I just love, especially the scaling. It just works with with either the 112 or the 118th. It works with both scales, but it's just really cool. I don't know how you do it. I just love it.
Thanks, man. No, it's just
and all that. It's just awesome.
I don't know, man. Like, I think it's equal parts like growing up in a place that was adjacent to, kind of hood like places where there was a lot of graffiti and tagging like that, and it was more like gangbanging graffiti instead of murals, and cool stuff like
tags and stuff.
It's not like the East Coast stuff you're seeing on trains where there's like big pieces and really nice stuff. I mean, you'd see that from time to time, but usually it was somebody just trying to get the job done and then get on. That and like, I don't know, man, it just almost feels like scrapbooking, you know what I mean, when I'm looking at this stuff, because I'm just like, I'm cutting out pictures from old like 70s Playboys and like old advertisements from back in the day, like, be a Marlboro man, and the guy's like on a horse smoking or some junk,
And on that note, viewer discretion is advised for this episode. I said viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be adult up in this thing today.
That's
awesome.
We're all grown up.
Just
what's that?
Just sagrets.
It's just sagrets.
So yeah, like this, like that stuff's amazing. I can't wait till I get mine. Hint, hint.
Well, we're gonna talk about. You and I need to have a little DM chat about that, my friend. So
cool.
And you guys, if you guys are coming down sometime in the near future, I can get that off to a undisclosed location for you guys to pick up here in the U.S. So
that's cool. We'll work something out. We'll talk later.
Let's please do that.
So stick around after the show because we're about to have a great conversation. To all you people that aren't going to be there, too bad.
Boy, are you missing out.
Exactly. That's when the good shit's going to happen.
That's right. That's when the real cream rises to the top.
Cream.
Just come to Joe Fest.
When is Joe Fest?
Yeah, you guys should come to Joe Fest. I know, Abby, you can't because you're starting your new job tomorrow. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Woo!
I appreciate it.
That's awesome stuff, man.
What's your new job? Don't go to Joe Fest.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. No.
Fuck these guys in Joe
All right,
Fest.
you're hired. You're hired, but you cannot go to Joe Fest this year at all.
I know, man. Hopefully next year.
That always happened to me when I would always start a new job right when my family was going to on a really cool vacation. They always planned it right after I started a new job. I'm like, really? You couldn't have waited?
I
tried to, but
I lost a job over some stuff like that. I worked for a division of the forestry department, like Northern California Forestry Department in San Francisco, called the Marin County Conservation Corps. Anyway, but yeah, I remember when I hired on, they were just like, all right, because it was like the base of employee was like equal parts like Hispanic male and then
Right.
like white hippie male. And they were like, all right, so no time off for soccer championships, no time off for dead or fish shows. Like they were like, all you dreadlock kids. And yeah, I got fired because we went to some dead shows and we thought we were being all clandestine. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going down to Orange County. My buddy's like, I'm going to Tennessee. And then somebody we worked with saw us there and then just spilled the beans on Monday. We came in, they're like, so how were the dead shows? We're like, what are you talking about? What? We weren't there. Yeah.
You dirty rat.
Dirty rat, Chuck.
Damn.
We're gonna find you.
Chuck did us dirty. He didn't mean to. He had no idea. Anyway.
Yeah, he meant to. If you got fired, he meant to do that.
It was a rough job. I think Chuck did me a favor, man. That was a lot of hiking through the woods.
Sometimes
with
you
tools.
need that,
Yeah.
But on that note,
greater things.
Let's talk about some greeblies. Let's start that out. And now it's time for greeblies.
Greeblies. Oh, my precious. Oh, yes. Anything can be a greebly.
That never gets old.
Nope.
I love that one. It's actually rad that got me going back to that because I was initially going to create a new intro for the Greebly section, but yeah, Rad convinced me to keep it, and I was like, yeah, he's right. That one is actually a good intro, and that's from our former co-host Lord of Thane. He created that little imagery there. I did the voice and all that stuff, of course. So yeah, Greeblies, this is the good time where those of you guys who want to learn how to do some stuff with your world building and don't know how to use little odds and ends and junk and cheap stuff, all these awesome creators are going to show you some of the little tricks that they do, and maybe you can incorporate some of that into your builds and customs. So Abby, let's start out with your stuff. I see some really cool things here. So how about you let me know about this?
Yeah, so
I love this gal.
I know, right? She's like my favorite.
She looks awesome.
Thank you.
And you painted that head though, right? Because I remember it's a 3D Dios, I think, is the person where you got those from.
Really great.
And I know that his are 3D printed heads, so they're usually gray, and that's an amazing.
Well,
thank you.
One of Abby's first posts I saw after I started following her, you had these like G.I. Joe classified heads. Or these figures.
Oh, I saw those.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, just a bit, and then they were gone. I was like, oh my god, that Lady J looks like amazing.
Yeah, incredible job, especially with the whole makeup and all that kind of stuff. But then he took it a step further and actually started giving them jewelry, like earrings and shit.
Those earrings.
Wow, man, that's insane. So how'd you make
little
that?
Details, man.
I know, right? That's usually what does it. That really makes it pop. So how'd you do the earrings?
Yeah, so those like little rings, they're used a lot in jewelry making. I can't remember. Right. They're not quite jump rings. I forgot what the heck they're called. There's always like some technical term with the jewelry stuff. But like, yeah, dude, they sell them super friggin' fine. And all you need to do is like, there's already like a cut in the metal. Right. So you can kind of bend them and stuff. You just cut enough room for like the earlobe and stuff, and just
so you just kind of
glue it on.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna ask you, did you like drill a hole and actually pierce her ear to
Oh no, no, that'd be ridiculous. But yeah, and like I've done it with a few figures, and they surprisingly stay on like really, really well.
That's
like I haven't had problems with them falling off and stuff. And then another jewelry bit.
What about that tassel? How the hell did you do that?
So those are actually they're cord ends. So they're intended to like go on the end of like corded jewelry and stuff, so you have something like to clasp to. But once again, like they sell them so small, you can use them for a bunch of stuff. So made that tassel there. I have also drilled into like the drums and stuff of guns and left that little loop exposed, and you can put straps on them and stuff.
That is brilliant, man. I love that. I gotta see some of those because I actually seeing this stuff, it makes me want to create reins for my mounts, because this is such a good idea. I actually try to do that with some of my mounts.
Yeah, you could just kind of loop some leather through it and fold it
Yeah,
over and glue it.
exactly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I might
Yeah, that's
wanna
great.
give
This is
that
a great
try.
figure, Abby. Though
Yeah.
I saw this the other day or whenever I don't know if it was today you posted it, but yeah.
Yeah, when I first
Thanks,
saw that
man.
figure, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's hot, and she's only a toy.
Bring her to life.
You
Yeah,
know.
you could, Pirates, you can whip
So,
those
Oh,
up.
man.
Whip those up for your exotic dancers at your club or
I
something.
know, right? For my club, that'd be pretty cool.
I know it's a bummer thing that like all of us like 3.75 collector Dio people are stuck with the same three aliens from Star Wars
Yeah, you know what I
as our
mean?
dancers and such. And I'm trying to
Right.
get more exotic with mine. I got what's the guy with the unicorn head from Fortnite?
Oh shoot.
So
I
I'm
know who you're
gonna
talking
get
about.
No
one of
idea.
them naked bucks from like boss fight and do him up. He's gonna be fun. Yeah, it's gonna be a
Nice.
all access adult club in my place.
Well, what I've done is I've
Very
gotten
nice.
a few of the Princess Leia and the slave outfits, and then painted some. I use like Ahsoka's head. We kind of touched it up a little bit so
Nice.
she looks
Okay,
slightly different.
that's a good call.
Then I also got another Leia, like slave Leia, but instead of her being the brunette, I painted her hair blonde. So I changed little things up
Sure.
in regards to that. I got a few Marvel universe figures and repainted them so that they could be some dancers as well. So yeah,
People
that's
just need to
coming
make
soon.
more adult themed figures.
Exactly.
I like how
We're
she
adults
has.
after all.
I like how she has a sassy hand too. She's like,
Yeah,
I know,
she's
right?
definitely got the sassy hand on the left.
She's got that
Right.
attitude.
Well, then she had the jazz hand on the left too to kind of.
Yep. Just to
Thing.
balance things out a little bit.
It's
what
awesome.
station was that? He's got a Mr. Jazz Hands man or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, we just
Oh
talked
my
about
Fat
god,
Red
that's
Foo.
amazing.
Wasn't
Yeah,
it
that
Fat
was
Red
Foo.
Foo?
That was
Yeah,
Foo.
Fat Red
That was Foo.
It's
It's
Foo
Like
with the
he's
got
jazzy
the
hands.
jazz hands or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that for a
Yeah.
minute last time.
But this is awesome. So here's some more of the jewelry,
Nice.
and here's
Buckles.
on the right you have the buckles. Like
Yeah.
where the heck do
Yeah.
you find these things?
So, a lot of the tiny jump rings, and then I think I got those like little like cord caps are from a place called artbeads.com. It's
Oh, okay.
awesome because it's
Yeah,
kind of
beading.
like
Good call.
yeah, it's kind of like Marauders where you don't have to buy like I think some of them are like in bags of 10, but some of them like have
Right.
a minimum of like 2. So if you need them for a
Okay.
project, you can spend like $2 and
Right.
get what you need and like that's it. The
That's
tiny
cool.
buckles, and it sucks because I don't know how much longer you're gonna be able to buy from her store because she's in China.
Well, that's
but
for
there's-
you. That's a problem
I
for
know.
you.
I know you guys are.
Don't worry, we'll hook you up. Whenever you need that stuff, let me know. I'll order it for you.
But,
I'll
uh,
send
Oh,
it
dude,
your
we'll
way.
start some crazy Canadian like
Trade.
Dude,
Yeah, no,
that
I'm
That's
would
what I
be
mean. I'm gonna
amazing.
start my own little trade business.
I'll bring beaver pelts and
Yeah.
Syrup, maple
manure
syrup,
hair stuff. You
and
know,
Canadian bacon.
yeah, we got you.
Heck yeah.
But that those little buckles that you have there, I just recently ordered a small jacket. You'll see that in my what I'm working on, and the jacket actually comes with a belt, and they actually use those same buckles. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is
Yeah.
brilliant, because they're so
So-
freaking tiny.
Yeah. The site is isofordall.com. That's
Okay.
where I get that stuff. And they have a bunch of stuff. They've got fabric on there too.
Mhm.
That's like, super thin and everything, like a lot more suited to like soft goods for small figures.
Okay, that's cool.
They've got a bunch of the little buckles like that. The silver one is one piece, but that gold one actually has like a little clasp. And they're
What?
like the perfect size for like making little chests and stuff.
Right.
They also have like those like little metal corner things that you see on like old suitcases
Yeah.
and a whole bunch of stuff. Like
Oh man, I know where I'm
Yeah.
going to next. Even though I'll buy all this shit and never use it. But yeah, that's awesome stuff though. I'm really loving the jewelry and like I actually want to see some of the belts you create with those buckles. So that'd be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
one is coming up on well, I guess you can't see it, but this is another like thing that I use for greeblies is the Marauders scopes and stuff.
Oh,
So like
okay.
I did use one as an actual scope,
Right.
but if you look on the side, I don't know if that's supposed to be a scope or a laser sight.
Right.
So that's a
But,
Marauders rifle.
It's actually acid rain.
I would say that
Okay, I
looks
was gonna say-
that looks too big to be a
Well,
Marauder
just the
one.
paint. The paint job is amazing. I was like, holy moly, man! Look at that thing.
She painted that. That's awesome.
Yes.
But yeah, that looks cool. So at first I was like, "Where's the greebly on there?" But then
I remember. No, I know the sites because I bought like 3.7 stuff from.
They have
Marauder.
some really awesome stuff. Like you can buy anything and just to slap it together yourself.
And
which
like
is really
and
cool.
like Abby was saying, like it's a minimal cost point. Like I just got a buck and some guns, and it cost me like $20.
But the thing is, sometimes that's like a rabbit hole you don't always want to go down because it's so cheap. Next thing you know, you just found out you spent $200.
It's really easy to keep adding to the cart when everything's 30 cents. Yeah,
exactly. You buy like 10 when you meant to just buy one, right? So when you like they say, don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry.
Right. You come home with nothing but Oreo cookies.
Exactly.
Oh, it definitely doesn't take long to spend $200 on acid rain. That's for sure.
No, it does not. That's like four figures if you're lucky.
Not even two.
One figure.
Yeah.
In Canada, that's like two.
Yeah.
You get like a figure in a booster pack with like 2 oil drums. And
exactly. That's it. You're done.
Yep.
And here's another one of your creations. So this is cool too. So is this again using the Marauder parts?
Yeah, so those like little 2 things on the side are scopes, and then I just added an extra I think like a tiny silencer onto the end and like drilled out the end of it to make it,
cool.
just extended. And then once again, like jewelry stuff. That stuff on the side is all just jewelry wire that I bent and then like super glued in place onto the side of the gun to make look, I don't know, like
a wire connection to those scopes.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that looks really dope.
Yep, and then you
nice wire bending skills.
I know, right?
You must have a very small needle nose plier.
I was about to say she probably has all the tools necessary for like jewelry making and all that stuff. My sister has a lot of that stuff too. Very cool stuff. So yes, David Dunn sent us some stuff. He actually he put some really cool things. You're gonna see some of the stuff he uses to make his awesome creation. So first of all, he uses these rubber gaskets, and he uses these all over the place. So some of the larger ones, he uses them for these. So these are like those allergy bottles. Okay. And then he adds the O-ring elastic around them, and then once he paints it and unifies everything, they look like that. So that's a really cool
that
concept.
Looks really cool.
I know, right? And it's perfect for that the 1/18 scale.
Like a new thing.
Exactly. So you did an awesome job with those. What's that?
And if you want those, if you have like places like Habitat for Humanity and all those like the used building supply, there's always like cases of these things in there that somebody like got it, used it for like 5 jobs and like got rid of it.
Yeah, because they didn't need it for anything else. So yeah, those are really cool. And actually you can find, here in Canada, we can find those on AliExpress for really cheap. So very cool.
They might not be able to get it from AliExpress soon, pirates.
What's that?
AliExpress.
I think so cool.
Somebody was mentioning another shipping company that just stopped shipping to the US that was Chinese, but yeah.
Everybody hates us. I don't blame them.
That's too bad. Yeah. But he used them in this awesome creation as well. Like this thing is so cool. Crazy.
Awesome.
I love mechs.
I love mechs, and I love when people make them out of just everyday stuff. Like this is just a bunch of crap that he found around the house and just put it together. And then once you add the paint aspect to it, that's when it really ties everything together and really makes it pop. So he did an awesome job with that.
I like the quirky mechs. They might remind me of like the Electric State or something like that.
Yeah. Although
off balance robots.
It reminds me. Yeah, I was just gonna say it reminds me of that time period in like anime when like not like kind of like post Robotech, right in that area of like where they would make these things that would be on really precarious like footing.
Yeah,
all it takes is like one swipe and it's down, but they're just cool looking. I don't know, something about it.
Yeah, he did an awesome job with these. So yeah, just using everyday stuff, using O-rings, and look what you can create. So that's really awesome stuff. So then we got some stuff from Fat Red Food, the Foo Man himself. He sent us some stuff. Now he didn't send us the completed these in use, but he actually gave us some really cool ideas for things you can find at the Dollar Tree. So he found these
Okay.
scoops, and these scoops would make
Oh,
awesome
wow.
canopies for like your ships or
Yeah.
land speeders and that
Yeah.
sort of thing. You just kind of cut off the handle part of it, and
No
then you can use
doubt. Look at
as
that.
canopies. So one of
Yeah,
the
that's
Solid.
perfect.
I got one of
It-
those nearby.
I know, and they come in different colors, so that's pretty cool as well, right? So
Yeah,
I
definitely.
bet
that's an
you if
awesome
you
idea.
I bet you if you left a tiny bit of the candle and like drilled it through, you could put a pin through and it would fit a lot of ships.
Oh yeah, get
Oh,
some
yeah.
articulation.
Definitely.
That'd be
That'd be
amazing.
pretty cool too, yeah. And then so here's some other angles of it. So he actually took a picture of the packaging. So if you have a Dollar Tree near you, you can go and pick these up. And then he also sent us these hair clips, which could be used for like different sci-fi stuff, especially if you take them apart. They come in different colors, so sometimes
They
you don't
look
even
like
have to
robot
paint it.
fingers, dude. Look at them.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
Or you could
robot.
just
They
clip
look like
your hair
robot
back
parts.
if you want, you know?
Oh yeah, just use
Have
it for
fun.
what they're intended, or but no, that's boring. I don't have to worry about that.
Or
But
I get it.
but yeah, definitely a really cool concept. You can take them apart, use them for the like ship landing legs and stuff like that, or maybe make mech legs out of them. Or
There you
maybe
go.
Yeah.
use them as space frames. So there's so many different ideas that you can use these for. Thank you, Mr. Fu, for sending
Nice
us
work,
these
Fu.
awesome ideas. And then we have Jerry. Jerry sent
up,
us
Jerry?
some cool stuff as well. So those these
Mm.
little
Paint
plastic
containers.
containers, you find them in like no, actually, that's not even an ink container. I
Oh,
think
that
she
one on
just
the left is like a silicone container, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So she just put it beside the ink containers to give you an idea
I see.
of the
I see.
scale.
Okay.
But the very far right picture is those things repainted, and then she actually, I think they can open up, and
That's
she
great.
put some paint in there and then
That's
labeled them
perfect.
and all that. So that's really cool. They make
Nice
especially
work.
for
Yeah.
1/18 scale, to make nice little canisters
Awesome.
for your characters. So she sent us those. Very awesome stuff. That's one of the things I love about this is that people come up with such awesome things. Like sometimes you would never think of these things until you see someone else use it. It's like, oh, that makes sense. So
Right.
another thing that she created here is little paint trays. So she used the Jenga blocks to glue them together to make a little table. And then the packaging on the right, that's actually those coin battery packages. So those the small
Oh,
little
yeah.
watch batteries.
Okay.
And she cut those up so that way she can glue them onto the Jenga blocks and makes them like into little small paint containers or paint trays. So you don't actually have to go and get that whole big massive paint tray when you're working on some of your customers. You only need a little bit of paint. Well, here's an idea. You can use it for that, or you can use it in your world building. It could be like a sink or something, or a stove.
Oh, yeah.
thing
Or
something,
or
right?
pet food bowls. for your
Yeah,
dog.
dog
Right.
bowls or pet food
Mhm.
bowls. Yeah, definitely.
Take the paint out of them first. Though.
Yeah, you don't want that for your pets.
No.
But yeah, awesome. Thank you, Jerry, for sending us those. Very
Come on,
cool.
Jerry.
Now this guy always like
Oh man,
the stuff he
I saw
comes up
this.
with
It's
just the junk. This stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, you can go on Instagram right now. Check him out. He actually has these posted. But so he bought this from I think it's Dollar Tree, just like those little cheap toys for like $1. He flipped it upside down and made a Jawa vehicle out of it, which is really cool. Added some other greeblies to it, so like bottles, caps,
awesome.
some styrene, like little building block parts, and glued them all on and all that stuff. And at first, you don't always see it until he actually adds that coat of paint
Right.
that actually really
Yeah.
ties everything together. I actually even added some magnets so he can change. So as you can see on the picture on the left, right beside the Jawa, there's like a little cap head that's on
Yep.
there. So that's actually magnetized. So you can remove that. Then as you can see in the picture on the right, he has another part magnetized to the top of it. So you have the possibilities are endless when you use magnets. You can change your parts around. And so yeah, here's some other angles of that.
Love
so as
that
you can
arm.
see, yeah, he has the gun there,
So cool.
and then he added the arm. So the arm, I believe, is from what's that? Final Faction.
Okay.
So that's Final Faction parts that he added on to there.
Yeah. Shout out to Macon Hicks. You know, this guy's definitely got a real good eye for taking dollar toys and then like combining them all.
Everyday parts.
Yeah.
Like pen parts, like caps,
And
bottles.
and like you said, man, that first layer of paint he throws down makes you go, oh, and then you see it, and then he'll go like, well beyond that. It's the paint apps that this fella pulls off is
that's crazy.
Very impressive. Yeah.
So as you can see in the picture on the right, it's starting to tie. It's a lot more tied together now that it's been painted. And so here's some other shots of it. Like, look at
nice.
that.
Look at all the
This
gear,
looks
all the
friggin'
stuff in the
cool.
motor. Come on.
Yeah, like all the gear pieces in there and all that. It's like
It's
so
really
friggin'
cool,
cool.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
He does
He's
some
got
awesome stuff.
An awesome eye for making things that kind of like weird, like shaped asymmetrical thing that you find in Star Wars too.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah. Like this totally looks like this would be in the Star Wars universe.
For sure.
100%.
Totally fits.
No, I can see this thing gliding across the desert, picking up scraps.
Dun, 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 dun. Awesome stuff, man. So,
It's a Tuscan war cry in the distance somewhere.
Yeah. So he did a brilliant job with that. So really cool. So here's some stuff that Rad sent us.
Okay.
So this is we were talking about this before the show, and it's
nice.
a shoe rack.
Nice.
Like,
okay.
Yeah,
but it's actually a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah, they're dirt cheap on Amazon. I was worried about that too, but like you can fit some pretty big ship. Like that's the snow speeder in there. Like that's
I know about what size that is from those ships for sure. That's like about a foot.
But no, and then the sides of it look like Joy Toy, and then I'm printing walkways with like railing to go across.
Oh, nice.
You know what would be cool? I was gonna say, you know what would be cool? Yeah, it kind of does have that feel for it, especially if you had like a giant mech standing in the middle.
I might get more and make different walkways, and because I've got two of those giant sentinels on pre-order.
Oh, that would be cool! Yeah,
so I can use them in my Marvel Legends setup because a Marvel Legend can stand up. Like I think it's 7.5 or 8 inches between them.
Oh, really? Okay, that's cool.
Size. But they were dirt cheap, and as soon as I saw the sides, I was like, "Oh man, this reminds me of Joy Toy." So I'm redoing my entire 100%. Variant. Is like
what I like too is like right where those little at the end of each shelf, like the arms of the shelf, where it has that oval shape.
Yeah,
it'd be cool if you can kind of fill that out, and you can even put lighting in there as well, like kind of
absolutely. There's like a lip
frosted
underneath.
Glass, and then you could put a
you
light.
Could hide a. Well, you could hide it like there's a bit of a lip underneath, so you could hide strip lights in underneath each ones or whatever. Those little
that'd be cool.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
but no, it was definitely one of those like, and then you get it, and it's like, oh, this is fucking perfect. This is exactly
which is crazy because I was that guy. I was like, I don't know, because it looked too small. But then I saw your video with this, and I'm like, holy shit, those are actually pretty big, man.
Another thing I'd recommend for lighting too is those little puck lights, those little LED where you just twist them.
Yeah,
and they just like rotate through like the color schemes and stuff. But if you
the only problem with that is the whole battery thing.
Oh,
that's the pain in the ass to have to switch.
Especially
if you have a whole lot.
Throwaway culture that we are. It's honestly to get a pack of like 24 of those costs way less than it would to buy the batteries to restore the original ones you bought. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I use them sparingly. I don't leave them sitting on all night.
True.
When I went over to see last time I was over to see Tony and Zilla, I bought they had those holographic Puck Star Wars figures on sale for $7.
Yeah, I saw those.
So I bought 2 Darth Mauls just for this awesome Puck light that kind of has like this hologram look to it.
Right.
It was a good deal.
Nice.
This is so
cool.
Cool,
it's kind of this is how it's going to kind of fit in, and then in behind there is like an entire hangar with like meeting rooms and like all this crazy stuff, and then like as I usually do, it's like I'll put like a sheet of glass across the top of them. I don't know. I like using glass for like my different levels because you can see through them down into.
And then you don't have to put as much lighting too because the light flows right through everything.
Yeah, man. Like I love using everything up. Dude, I've ripped apart like so many like TV stands and like anything with like glass.
Oh yeah, we've seen
it's on the side of the road. Someone's giving away. I'll just go over and like rip the doors off because it's got glass in it.
So if you guys want to go and check out Red's video update with all that stuff, because that was just part of his video. He has a whole bunch of other stuff that he has going on there as well. So after this, you can go and check that out. Definitely.
Are we talking about that other building today or no?
Oh yeah. We're about to. I was just
Okay,
about
all
to
right.
get to that.
Yeah, man, I don't want to step on your toes. I was like, because I love it, man. It was awesome.
Hey, you're my co-host, man. You gotta keep me going. So here we go with
Keep you in line.
stuff that we're working on.
No, bigger. Smaller. No, it's the one with a hole on the end that curves this way. I think I saw it once before over there in that pile near the circulators. There you go. I always knew you were the smart one.
So here we are again, Abby. You're gonna start us out with stuff that you're working on, and oh my gosh, when I saw this figure, obviously I'm doing stuff in alphabetical order, but when I saw this figure, and this is for my Titans of the Universe tournament, so thank you so much for doing this, and oh my gosh, guys, check this figure out.
Wow.
So actually, before you get to the figure, what is going on with that Millennium Falcon or YT-1300?
So that is something that we picked up. This actually isn't so much mine. I mean, I might help with it, but my husband and I picked that up for a really, really good price from a seller here in state. We just had to drive it in the mountains for it, but
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
planning
That
on
was a great ship.
What was it
weathering
missing?
up.
What was it missing? I'm just curious.
So he actually had it complete.
Wow.
He had pieced it together himself. Yeah, that's why we had to drive like an hour and 40 minutes into the mountains to get
but that's
it. But
worth
like,
it, though.
yeah,
That's worth it for that.
Good for you.
Like,
Good for you. That's
yeah,
awesome.
no.
Congratulations to you both on that. That's rad.
That's a
Thank
good
you.
grab, yeah.
Yeah.
That ship's so awesome. It's like I wanted that for the longest time. Now I just couldn't get it, even if I could afford it.
The thing's
I just
got
don't
ridiculous.
have the space. The price is nuts, but I just don't have the space for that. Thing's massive. But
Speaking
it's
of
so
spouses,
cool.
mine. I think our first Christmas together, she got me that. So
What?
yeah.
Nice.
Does she have any sisters?
She's a keeper.
Does she have any sisters?
I'm talking about the Falcon, right? No.
The absolute best feature on that Falcon is the loading ramp where you hit the button. It's like
yes.
Oh yeah, dude, I must have done that like
lights
500
up.
times Christmas morning. I was just like,
and it
gonna wear
lights
mine
up.
out.
That's the crazy
yeah,
part.
the lights on either
Every
side,
time
those
I-
runner lights, so badass.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
it was
I
so
seriously
good.
punched that button like 60 times that morning. I was like,
Oh
look
yeah,
at this.
dude. Every
Look what
time
it
I
does.
walk past it, I close it. And
Yeah.
get on, guys,
Awesome.
get on.
Now I want to get $1,000 to buy one.
Is that really what it's at right now?
Well, Canadian.
I don't know. Mine was like 140.
I don't know.
That's the big massive one, right?
Yeah, the legacy.
Yeah, that one's
Falcon.
expensive now. It's probably like closer to like 600. 1,000's not. It's not quite.
I don't know. Yeah, I want
It's like 600.
I looked around a little bit.
What's that?
Yeah, it's definitely on Evil Bay. It's definitely about 400.
Oh yeah, that's always overpriced on Evil Bay.
Yeah, that's always there.
Especially when you're shipping internationally, we get killed because their international prices are just insane. Like way too overpriced.
That's why it's a score that you got yours locally and we're able to drive to it because the shipping on this thing is gnarly.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and we got
shipping anywhere on anything is gnarly.
That's true. But so let's dive into this character you have here on the right.
Diverged into the Falcon there.
See, that's all good. We asked, she
yes.
sent us the picture. We're supposed to talk about it, right? So,
All right.
but I want to talk about the pièce de résistance, this character that you have here. Does she have a name?
Not well, sort of.
Oh, don't say not yet. Don't even tempt me.
Yeah, what would be her name, Rad?
Bouncing Betty.
Close.
Bouncing Betty.
So I don't know if I want to change it because I was telling Pirates she was actually a character that I created for like something else, and her name was Jack Rabbit. But
I like it.
but in Star Wars, like, I don't know, because I don't know how I feel about it, because like it's an animal
Don't have
that's
Jackrabbit in
here,
Star
you
Wars.
know.
Right.
Exactly. So I'm just like, do I want to
Fucking
keep it,
Jackrabbit,
change
bro.
it? I don't know.
Just
We'll see.
slightly change the name.
Right.
But
Punchy.
yeah,
I watch a
G
lot of-
is amazing.
I see a lot of old people
Thank
TV,
you.
and they're always having a commercial for these like guys with prosthetics and stuff, and like it always shows this exact same situation here.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
no
this
Band-Aid.
Is this so cool? So, what parts did you use to put this together? First of all, how do you do the feet?
Yeah,
That's what I really want to know. Is how the heck
So-
did you do that?
That's an old Star Wars droid. It was like,
okay.
I don't know like the alien character it came with,
Right.
but he comes with like a little engine thing and then like a little floating droid that you can push the button on top of his head and the legs
Right.
like splay out so he can grab the little piece. And I just cut a
Okay.
couple of them off.
Okay, I know the
Nice.
figure you're
Comes with
talking
one of
about
the
now.
pod racer. Does it not come with one of the pod
I think
racer figures?
I think it is one of the pod racer droids.
I think so, yeah.
But
That makes
that is
sense.
so cool. And then is that like a Joy Toy figure or an Acid Rain figure or like a bit of all of them?
So a bit of all of them. Head is Star Wars figure.
Mhm.
Hood is Acid Rain World. The chest, arms, and then waist piece are Joy Toy.
Right.
The upper like thigh pieces
Mhm.
are Acid Rain.
Okay.
And then the like lower part, the calf, is actually from a General Grievous figure.
I was about to say
Did I
that
cut
kind of
apart?
looks familiar, yeah. But that's
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
Wow.
I love all the little greeblies like on
Yeah,
her
that's
hand,
weird.
on her arm, and all that kind of stuff. Because I think that character is Shay Vizsla, that female.
Yeah, that head, yep.
Mandalorian.
Head,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Or-
that's awesome. Should I have any more pics? No, you should have sent us more pics of this. I could have been looking at this all day. But yeah, it's brilliant. Like, I can't wait to see the pictures once you are done, and then send those in for the Titans of the Universe tournament. So, guys, just as we're talking about that, you have until June. I believe it was June 27th to submit your Titans. Go and check out my video on my Titans of the Universe playlist, and video number. I believe it's video number 2. Or part 2 of the Titans of the Universe, and it explains to you what's required for your character. But yeah, this is brilliant. You did an
Can this
awesome
figure
job.
stand? Like, can you get her to stand?
Yeah, does she?
Oh,
That was
no.
what I was wondering. No.
Oh, okay. I wondered.
I'm kind of tempted. I might like put a hole in the back so I can, use like a
stand.
peg stand.
Stand.
Yeah, just because
Yeah.
she's gonna need it. There's absolutely no way with those thin little legs.
Is there a lip-
Or create like a base
cybernetic,
that could like accommodate it. Like those things could like maybe slip into a little sleeve or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
could work
maybe.
too.
But yeah,
Yeah,
your
that
idea is
would
your
work.
idea is way more
Yeah.
efficient.
True. Yeah,
You're
let's
gonna,
put
you're gonna name her
a
after
stand.
you're gonna name her after an animal. You should give her like a cybernetic tail or something.
Yeah.
And she'd be able to
Why not?
Right.
That's so cool. Well, yeah, that's a brilliant job.
Thank
And
you.
now, moving right along, we have Wolfman's awesome creation that you have
Oh,
for
man.
your station.
Yeah.
So, what do we have here, man? What's going on with this?
The
Holy
picture
bizarre.
on the left there, I guess, the one with just the thing lit up. I'm trying to create just an exterior for the Navarro. I think it was a Navarro Cantina playset,
Right.
and I wanted to make it so you could be able to like take pictures from both sides. So kind of like
Okay.
you see that kind of that horizontal slit there is
Yeah.
kind of just so you can look through the bar window from the outside in and out and inside out.
That's cool,
That's an
man.
awesome idea.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. And I know that there's like a little door like on the far right hand side of the play set. So I was like, well, what's that door going to lead to? Nothing. And a sheer drop off on the other side of this building. So I attached that long piece of wood there. So it would just kind of show that there's a, elevator or something. I
Right.
don't know. And then the top
Mhm.
of that is a plant. Like what the base of it is a vase from some flowers that somebody got. And the top part is this glass, like,
It's
I think it was-
a
I think it was-
bowl?
it's like no, it's like it's weird. It's like it's kind of like UFO saucer shaped, but the center of it's
okay.
punched out and it's all made of glass, so you can kind of put
Looks like a
lights
globe.
inside of it.
candles
Yes.
or something.
Yeah, no, it was like a planner my neighbor had. She asked if I wanted it, so I took it anyway. But you can kind of see, get the rough idea, and that's kind of everything up there is, on top of the Boba Fett throne room,
Nice.
Jabba
That's actually
throne
pretty
room.
big, man. It's a
What's
pretty
that?
Decent,
Yeah.
It's a pretty decent size. Like from the these pictures here, you can't really tell the size, like the scale,
Right.
even though you can see the figures and stuff. But once you see it
It's a
here
little,
with the Falcon there, it's like
yeah,
pretty
it's just a
decent
little
size.
taller and a little wider than the playset is. So you can kind of see there's like a guy kind of kicking it there just to the right of the doorway that there's about that width of a figure between the doorway and the edge of it. So it ain't too huge, but it's big enough to cover it. So but I've got miles to go on that one. It needs a lot of like texture Mod Podge type paint on the exterior, and then
some lighting and all that.
Lighting. It's also I've got ideas for the lighting already, and then that front area where you see the blue with just those little cavities in there. I'm just going to kind of cover that up with signs that say like Cantina and just different billboards.
From the back end of it.
What's that now?
It said lighted from the back end, like behind the.
Well, I already have like a string. So if you look to the left of that picture, you'll see a little black square box, and that's the the string lights that go behind the bar, and they go eventually. Right now, they were just kind of temporary, just to take the shot. I just kind of strung them along the bottom, but I'm gonna have it kind of go in a encircle the entire window so it illuminates it.
That's cool.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I'm just messing around with it still, and I don't know about the placement of that. That thing on top of it is eventually going to have like a half round, kind of give it more of a Tatooine look to it. Just the middle part will be lit up. The rest of it will be consistent with the exterior of the building.
So cool, man! I can't wait to see the finished the finished version of that. But awesome stuff. Oh, my stuff.
Well, look at that.
I haven't done too much stuff. It's been just like head swapping, some model kit building here and there. Because I've mainly been working on my book, so my focus has been on that lately. But I have been making some progress. So you guys remember this guy? This was the cameraman for my April O'Neil, and upon closer inspection,
why so serious?
That face just scared the crap out of me. I'm
Jeez,
like,
right?
He can't be a cameraman. Like he looks like he's Joker's twin brother or something, or long lost brother. Like those cuts on his side of his face, those really beady eyes.
This is his day job.
Well, it's like one eye isn't even centered either.
Exactly.
It's
so
pitched
like,
up and
I can't use this guy as.
I think he got hit. I think he got hit in the face with a shovel. Or something.
It looks like
one too many times, but
got dropped. He got dropped as a kid.
So I had to swap out that head and make him look a little more human. So I switched it off with this guy. So I went with this guy's head. And I figured this guy looks a little more normal. Looks more.
It's very team Zissou, It's
exactly. So I just a head swap, that nice and simple. Sometimes that's all it takes to make a custom action figure. So that's her new cameraman. I don't have a name yet, but stay tuned to my Instagram because I'll have lore for that character.
You know what custom I want to see you do, Pirates? You should do Sean Connery from Zordos.
Oh yeah, I should do that.
Just the mankini.
Because I have the head from.
Do you?
Not that head, but I have the head from what's it called? Indiana Jones. The
Professor Jones. Yeah.
So I could just add some hair to that.
Yeah, give him a long braided ponytail.
Exactly.
The mankini and just get, I don't know, like.
Actually, I think
you should get like a little pet's toy where you can shave the hair off of it, and apply like just the hair everywhere.
I think I have to do that now, man.
Yeah, man.
Because you just never know who's gonna show up in my world. Because
I can't wait to see
we have a Stargate, right? So anybody could show up from anywhere. So.
You can have him meet a character from Highlander, and they can have a discussion.
So that's my cameraman.
Someone else can make the big stupid head that like spits guns out of the.
I was just thinking about that as well. I was like, now you got to have that prop.
Oh jeez. And then I'm working on my Tony Stark. I just bought this custom head. It looks really cool. And so for this, I've just been lately collecting a lot of Iron Man, so Marvel Universe, Marvel Legends series. Been trying to find all the 4-inch or 3.75-inch Iron Man that I could find, the ones with good articulation. So.
Man, there were so many of them at one point.
I know. I'm not gonna go crazy and buy them all, but I love them. Yeah, there was a lot of figures for that.
There's still Iron Man
Yeah.
2 figures floating around in the
Yep.
pack.
So actually,
they're
some
everywhere.
of some of the ones I got, there's one or two that I actually have coming that are from the Iron Man 2.
Now you got a nice
line.
fleet though. You got a really good solid fleet there.
So far, yeah, those I have about 9 of them so far. I'm trying to replace most of the 5 POA ones with the more articulated ones. The 5 POA ones, I'm still going to use them, but they're just going to be like background armors and stuff like that. And then, so yeah, here he is with wearing his armor. And I just downloaded this file, this STL file. So once I get my printer up and running, which right now it's kind of on hiatus because of the fact that the fumes are just insane. I tried using it and it was just nuts. So I actually have to get proper ventilation.
Okay.
And especially now that it's warmer, the air there's not too much airflow in the house. So I actually have to get all kinds of ventilation and all that.
Just leave it
But
on.
I definitely
leave it
want
on
to
the
print that
bathroom
out.
counter with the fan on.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll ventilate the room.
Fine, dude.
So I was
You're fine.
getting headaches and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, I can't print that in the house. So we'll work on that. I actually ordered some ventilation, some tubing, and all that. So that should be something that in the next couple of weeks I'll be able to start doing.
Nice.
And then also, I just recently got this guy from Joy Toy, and I figured, hey, I want to make my own Embo type character. So he kind of already looks like the character, so I don't really have to do too much in terms of customizing him. But instead of getting him an actual wolf, I actually purchased this. It's not really Ravage, but it's actually does transform into a biped robot. But I figured I want him to have that as his like little companion. So
nice.
That's
awesome.
That is
I don't even have to paint it or nothing. So that's pretty cool. I don't like painting shit. And then, so speaking of painting, here's my blade that I'm working on. So here's the jacket that I was talking about. I was hoping it's going to be a little bit longer. The reason why I zoomed in on its face is, as you can see, there's still a lot of touch-ups that I have to do. And it's really hard. Even with magnification, I'm having such a hard time painting like the edge of his hair without, going over the lines and all that stuff. So, but I'm slowly getting there, and I'm really enjoying how he's turning out. I still have to add, like, now that I saw Abby's little, like, soft goods and all that kind of stuff, I want to add, like, a belt so I can add his little spikes, his stakes.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff.
Yeah,
a bandolier of stakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I want to cut a little hole in the back of his jacket so his sword can poke through.
So-
It's kind of like it does in the movie.
Is this part of that line? Like, so what parts of this are from that 3.75 Marvel Heroes line? I can't remember the name of the line, but you know what I'm talking about.
This figure, none of it.
None of it. Okay, but not even the weapons.
No, none of the weapons, none of those things. Like, so the weapon that he's holding, that little throwy thing that he has in the movie, that's actually from the Mezco blade figure.
Okay.
So that's actually for a 6-inch figure.
Got it.
He came with 2 of them, so I figured, hey, I'm gonna give it to him, and it works for the 1/18 scale as well, and it actually does fold up, so that's really.
So this is all you. This is all you.
Nice.
Yeah. So the only thing I didn't do was the jacket that I bought online, but the body is actually from Joy Toy. So it's a Joy Toy. This is back in the day. They had the Russian futuristic Russian soldiers.
Okay.
So some of them were cyborgs. So what I've done is I pulled those arms out, give them the other arms that I painted and stuff. So if you saw some of my previous "What Are You Working On" videos, you could see the arms that I painted and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at with that. And then these are just model kits that I purchased recently. So they're based on the Arkham Knight video games. Really cool figures, 4-inch figures. They have really great articulation. They're way better than like Spin Master because they have wrist and ankle articulation. So really cool stuff.
I love that Arkham Knight. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, really, he came out really
Is the other
cool.
guy Deadshot?
Deathstroke.
Yeah.
So Deathstroke, so far, he's my favorite in that line. I think there's like altogether 8 figures. He's my favorite figure so far in the line. He comes with various weapons, where a lot of the other ones come with the same weapons, like the grappling gun, a batarang, and 2 knives, whereas he's the only one who comes with a sword and his bow staff. And he has a holster, but does not come with a gun. So I don't know if it's that whole DC thing where they don't like selling their figures with guns. So I have more than enough so I can find him a weapon. And that's essentially what I've been working on.
All right. Nice.
Brad, it's
Cool.
up to you now. What have you been up to?
Oh,
man?
geez. So yeah, since he was on the show, I've went over to Rebel Base Build. You can find him on Instagram and YouTube, and he has for $12, like for a Patreon payment, you can get like access to like so many awesome prints, and like he does such a good job. So he designs all this stuff himself. I'm just printing
Yeah.
it. So yeah, this is the
He's
Rebel is
amazing.
supposed
He's
to
an
be
amazing 3D sculptor.
Yeah, so I was using this. It's called a Tatooine house, but as usual, with my own prints, I'll take a lot of liberties. Like that
Right.
cargo claw is a IG-88 leg with some other random
Oh,
claw
that's
attached.
what that.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Really
so
cool.
it's nice. It moves and it's like rubbery and it's from the I don't know the rubbery IG-88. So, and that's the whole thing. So
For the power of the
up
force.
on top of it. Yeah, it's up on top of the tower. So this is like
That's
kind of
so
like where the
cool.
crotchety old like shipping boss. He's gonna like live in this building, and he's gonna have like he's got his own personal landing pad for his speeder bike and stuff like that. So
That's
Nice.
cool.
that's where I'm kind of going with
Yeah, that's
this
awesome.
build. I love the awnings that he
Yeah,
created for
that's
this.
really cool.
Yeah, they're really cool, man.
Here's a
Nice.
sharper shot of it, but that thing looks insane. That must have taken a while
It
to
looks
print,
awesome.
Rock.
Actually, it wasn't bad. It was a pretty quick print. I think the whole thing was done in like 30 hours, which for
though. Wow, that's
Yeah.
actually pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's
I would
really
have thought it
quick.
would have taken days to print all that, because it's
Oh,
not it's
no,
not
man.
that
Like,
small. It's a pretty decent size.
it is, and I pretty much like it was two goes on the big printer, and I had everything. So
Very cool.
yeah, it wasn't bad, man.
Awesome stuff, man. Very
Yeah, definitely
cool.
a
Sick.
fun building to create. Yeah, he does a really good job. So
Very
Nice.
cool. Holy cow, man! We're already
There you go.
at the top of the hour, and we
That's right.
haven't even got to your stuff yet, man.
It's all good.
So, but don't worry, we'll get into some of that because a lot
That's
of
how,
it too.
That's how chit chat goes.
Yeah, exactly. But definitely, if you guys want to check out in more detail the imageries, that we're going to go through some of them now. You can also go and check out Brian and Bob's show because Wolfman was on there a couple of weeks ago. And the show's called Into the Toy Box. Go and check that one out as well. And you can check out the more detailed stuff. But we'll kind of go through your stuff here real quick. Because you have some pictures that I just love. Some of these characters are just so cool.
Yeah.
Like this guy.
Thanks.
This
Danny
guy's
Trejo?
freaking
Yeah.
cool, man. So
Wale.
how'd you put this together? Is that like the Star Wars head, or is actually,
No,
didn't they
it's,
come out with the Star Wars
Okay,
head?
so like I think I've told you this, or I've discussed it recently with somebody, that I'm like when I find somebody I work with, I become like a loyalist, you know.
Yeah.
And so most of my custom heads are done by a guy out of Nogales, and it's
Okay.
called Spartan 118 MX.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Because my
Yeah.
guy that I go to now
Yeah,
has
I know
been Craniac Studios.
Yep.
That's the
Yep.
guy that I've been going to. But then Abby on Toy Domination mentioned 3D Dios. And
Okay.
Mhm.
he
Right.
has some really awesome accessories and heads as well. So now I'm going to be going, and then now Spartan 1AT, I think I'll probably go and checking his stuff out because his stuff's
Right.
really cool too. So
I got some
I
stuff
don't know
on
if I
the
can
way.
stay loyal on just one because
I
there's so
know,
many
it's hard.
talented people.
It's hard.
right? So-
I think with Spartan, what it comes down to is price points affordable
Yeah.
for me, and he's just a good, solid dude. And no matter what happens, like he's gonna take care of you, and you're gonna get what you want.
Yeah,
So,
because Craniac Studios, actually, the pricing's really good there too. So that's kind of
Okay.
why I stuck with that one.
nice.
That's where I got the Silverhawk heads, the Blade head I got from there. I have
Okay.
some Alien heads that are coming, so I'm looking
Got
forward
it.
to those.
Cool.
But my the part that I have a difficulty with is the painting part. That's the
Right.
part that's a challenge for me.
So,
So did you paint this?
so no, I did not actually. He painted this one up.
Oh, okay. So he's
I-
talented too.
He's very talented. You know, I'll spend the extra. No, yeah, like for the blank heads, it's really, really affordable. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I just tend to take the work out for myself because I find myself being the master of having like 30 irons and 30 fires. So I tend to not find the time to
I'm
do
the same.
do the same
way.
do the kind of quality work he's doing, and he's just like a machine with it. So but yeah, these are a
Especially
couple-
because he's supplying so many people, right? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's incredible when you see like the workload this guy's doing by himself. You're just like,
Right.
what the hell?
That's nuts.
But the wife growing up in Wisconsin is very much into the Mexican food for some reason. You know, I don't know if it was like a lack of it there or just like, you know, so she got a couple of Trejo's cookbooks and
Nice.
you know, the guy's an LA icon. I grew up watching the guy. As a matter of fact, nice segue into this. Today, trying to remember what back in 1993 was on this very day the movie Blood In, Blood Out.
Oh my gosh.
With Danny Trejo playing the legendary character Geronimo. So shout out to Danny Trejo. But
wow.
And the
my outside is white, but my inside is brown.
Don't shine shoes, I see.
I love that.
And the man's big on rescuing animals and especially pit bulls, and that is obviously dear and near to my heart because I have a rescued pit bull as well. So had to throw a little boo boo in there, like my little Bruno boy. And so this is just a Marauder buck. Got the head from Spartan. The machete is from Marauder, and the knife is from a Joy Toy figure, and the apron is from this really creepy Dexter figure that has the worst face I've ever seen on any figure ever. And like, I have him creeping around the arcade in my station because he's just hiding out between two video games, like waiting to talk to somebody. I don't know.
Nice.
Scary stuff.
But yeah, this guy's incredible though.
Thank you.
Put together really nice. Like again, a lot of the times too, it's just a matter of finding the right pieces, and oftentimes when you find those right pieces, it just feel like they flow together, and you end up with awesome creations like this.
I got that Dexter, and I was like, I know I'm just gonna want this apron for something, and then there it was.
Isn't that crazy though? You sometimes just buy a figure just because you want the accessories. You don't even care about the figure that much. You just want
I've seen people buy like an entire $25 fig for like a little lantern or something dumb, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, this guy looks really cool. And then your avatar here, I love. This is one of my. Actually, that's why it's the cover of our thumbnail because I love this character. And so this is your avatar.
Yes, sir.
So submit that for our challenge. So on our my segue now.
Okay.
You have until next week. So by next Friday, you need to submit your avatar. Again, it could be a celebrity, could be an avatar of yourself, a friend, or whatever. So you can submit at least 5 pictures, or if you want a short reel, and we'll show those off the following week. But this guy is really cool.
Thank you.
I love his interceptor too. That's an awesome.
Yeah, that's such a nice car.
Jada Toys.
He can't fit in there, can he?
Absolutely not. You have to take his entire lower torso off.
Oh, okay. I figured as much. So
but I've done that. But you can just cut him and cut him in half real bad, dude, and put him in there, and it works great. I don't know if I sent you that shot. There's one. I threw you a couple outdoor shots, but yeah, that's Yoka. Yeah, there it is right there.
Oh, it came out so dark.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I don't know what happened.
But you can kind of see him in there before he was that avatar figure is Caleb Buck from
check out
Acid
his
Rain.
page. Go check out his page or the Into the Toy Box. I don't know why it came out this dark.
That's all good. So it don't matter. We know what's going on in there. But witness me kind of situation. There's guys jumping off of motorcycles and dudes, homegirls hanging out the window shooting pistoles at these dudes, and they're just doing their best to get the hell away.
And actually, you're using like a what was it, like a blowgun or something?
I was I was asking my wife. I was like, "Hey, can you hook it up? Like, grab this can of compressed air and hit it like right, aimed at this tire,
Nice.
So yeah,
nice.
No,
nice. It was actually supposed to be light like this.
Yeah, it's all good.
Which is
whatever.
Really
People can go on my page and find that thing. It's on there.
Yeah, somewhere. So go and check out his page. You won't be disappointed. A lot of awesome shots in there.
That's right. Not be disappointed.
I love this character.
You'll be thrilled and amazed.
Exactly.
It'll be the highlight of your day.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained, people?
But this is really, really cool. I love that character.
Thank you. That's a real old one. That's And I took that song like "Hey Brother" by Avicii, but did like this really sad piano version to it. So he's like this little dude's just sinking into the sand. I don't know. Something about this is like, I don't know, growing up in the 70s and 80s, like this quicksand was a danger.
Yeah,
in like every in
Right.
Every show,
every
show.
you
If they were in the jungle at some
Oh,
point,
yeah.
they were gonna
Land of
sink
the
in
Lost, they'd
quicksand.
come around a corner and oh shit, we're in
Bionic
quicksand.
Man.
Somebody grab a vine. Holy
The
crap.
$6
we're gonna
million
die.
man, he's sank in quicksand.
Oh,
Almost
$6 million.
every show has somebody sink in
Some
quicksand.
kind of quicksand scenario. So that's what's up here. Yeah.
Crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So what's going on with this? I love these pictures, man.
Thanks, man. That's just to kind of show that I do stuff outside of sci-fi. This was a recent one that was just kind of an homage to a musician my wife and I used to know from a band that's out of Colorado, and he passed away a few years ago. So every year on his birthday, I try to do a little Jeff tribute, and yeah, he was just a neat guy that we worked with, and my wife's totally her hookup. It wasn't even me. So, but anyhow, this was just kind of an example to show too that like I use those little puck lights a lot in my lighting, and it can get things a little too far out.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to do something Western. So I ultimately went with like a black and white with it, and it kind of got a little out of focus on his face, but I didn't really care, honestly. I like that the fact that you can just see pretty clearly in the back the grave with the arm sticking out of it with the gun and the hat of the other guy, you know.
So when you're taking these pictures, what are you using? Like, are you using your phone, using an
I'm using my
camera?
phone, 100%. Yeah,
nice.
Samsung Galaxy.
People, you don't need to have big expensive cameras. Just use your phone.
Okay. And the irony being, man, is that like I'm just such a tech idiot that I'm literally sitting a foot below like a Canon Rebel that my wife bought for her company to buy. You know, she's got like shadow boxes and all this junk, and I just don't know how to use it. So, and I mean, it's not that I don't know how to use it; it's that the transfer of that from that to here to my
it's just
Instagram.
Too much work.
Right,
It's too much work.
I'm a very much instant gratification person.
I have a DSLR myself, and I used to use it a lot, but nowadays I just use my phone. It's just easier. So, but yeah, this is brilliant. Awesome stuff.
Right
here's some really cool
Speaking
cool
of sisters
characters here. So I love. So this was something a collab you did with
Red
Canada, right?
Canada.
Canada,
you know, Akira.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
But,
I think Rad just got into
cool.
calling it Canada because he wants it to sound like Canada.
Well, no, there's actual place called Canada. There's a place just outside of Ottawa called Canada. So
see, there's Canada.
Well, yeah, it is Canada. You're right.
Canada. Anyhow,
apparently that was the original name of Canada. It means like small village.
Yeah,
like some
Miliwake, which means the great.
This Canadian moment was brought to you by Red Toys Galaxy.
The maple leaf sweeps across the screen. I love it. The more you know about Canada.
For the house hippos, do you guys know about the house hippos?
No.
What?
Let's keep going.
I own a house hippo. He's sleeping like 2 feet away from me. Anyway, my dog is legitimately a hippo.
Those boats or something. Actually, never mind. I don't want to dive into that rabbit hole.
Yeah, we're gonna go somewhere else with this. This picture was like cool. we did the one on the left is the one that he and I did on a collab where it was kind of like a racing. Like racing for pinks kind of thing.
So is it that you guys just both had the same characters, same vehicle and characters? So that's how come you did the collab that way?
Well, kind of. He does have the figure on. Okay, so the picture on the left, the gal that's leaning up against the red bike and that bike, he has that set, but he used his in a different fashion. He put the helmet on his gal and had her flying away. So he did a picture and I did a picture.
Okay. Nice.
And he had her flying away on like a hover bike
through his city. That picture now. Okay,
and he edited it with all these little video screens, like
I
all
love when he
the
does
picture.
that.
Yeah. And anyhow, so this was my end of it. It was just kind of a like, you know, next time you want to race for beers, you just let me know. And she kind of gal on the left lost, obviously, and then the one on the right is more of a. You know, I'm not huge into the lore thing because I don't feel like I want to make people read like 4 paragraphs of my nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So I'll keep it to a minimum. But like the gals on the right are just kind of the local all gal biker gang that cruises around and causes havoc. And the leader of that gang is like the avatar for my wife. So that's the gal on the left there pointing at the other gal and. Not the most clear, crisp picture, but you kind of get the idea. And
still, it's a cool, like it's telling such an awesome story. So
I love your lighting.
Really cool. Yeah.
Thanks. Again,
Very
like it's
cool.
just multiple puck lights and lights from behind me and inside of there. So yeah, just try and get creative if I can, but I'm still figuring stuff out.
Yeah, same with me. And that's the hard thing about with using your phone is because they're
Mhm.
made to be able to take pictures in low light, so you can't always get the atmospheric shots that sometimes you're looking for,
Yeah,
unless you
Hmm.
play around with it after
I'm
in post
I'm learning
stuff.
that having like a
Yeah.
just a clear light going on in somewhere in the room is a real helpful thing, because if I don't
Yeah,
do that, my
then it's
my
too
phone just
low.
freaks out. It's too much blue, reds, and all these
Yeah,
crazy colors, and then it starts like washing stuff out,
and
and it
then
doesn't do.
it blurs
Yeah.
everything. So yeah, that's why I
Yep.
have to go into the after software. It's like unblur,
Sure.
unblur, unblur, unblur like
Right.
100 times.
Yeah.
But
And the
this is
back is just
awesome.
some wall that I tagged up, and on the left there is actually one of the Fatback stations, little VHS
Oh yeah,
little
there's little VHS
Oh,
walls.
I
Very
walls. Yeah, it's
cool.
kind of more of a tower, but
Nice.
yeah, I have a couple walls and then the tower. So
Nice. So here's another gang meeting up in the alley.
yeah, just
This
some
is
homies
really
standing
cool.
around shooting the chat. Some classic cars. You got old that Snake Plissken is a Marauder with a Spartan head, and I put that guy together before they decided to haul off and do their New York tour guide figure.
Right.
So I jumped the gun on that, but whatever.
But
Um,
this one looks cooler. I
oh,
like
thank
that
you,
one.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
The fellow on the left is actually the 100% Wolfman avatar.
Nice.
And yeah, that's why I love the intro so much that you did, because that's 100% where I brought my name from. You
Yeah.
know, for the
So I remember you were
station.
telling me that was one of the things you bonded with your dad with.
Yeah, we
Was
just go out in the
Wolfman.
garage and
So
fart around with tools and
see, so
cars
I
and such.
watched you another. I've been stalking you, man.
You've been stalking me, but
So
yeah,
that's why I came up with that intro, right? I
I
figured
loved
that
it. No, it was
intro would
perfect. So
work,
you
right?
nailed it.
So
But that figure on the left there is
I love that figure. It's really cool.
well, thank you. That's
yeah.
like I said, that's just a Mutt Williams with repainted hands and an AWOC
That's okay. I was trying to
wolf
figure
wolf
out the
head that I repainted.
body. I was
Yeah.
trying to figure out. I'm like, why does that
That's why
look
he's
so
so short.
familiar?
Well, that's why he's so short too. He's like the tiniest guy out there. But if you notice, he's another American Graffiti tie through. Is he's got his butt parked on the Mercury lead
Yeah.
sled that belonged to the Pharaohs in that movie. So
Oh man, yeah.
I used to
gotta
live in
watch that.
Petaluma, California. They filmed a ton of that movie in there. So everything still looks like the 50s out there.
That's awesome. So here's
Yeah.
another.
Jerry,
So this is where I
Jerry
said
has-
the. Sorry, go ahead,
Here is a question. Yeah,
sir.
the
Go ahead,
Wolfman-
Jerry.
Yes, I do. I
Wolfman.
do indeed do graffiti walls. Like the wall behind them is done by me.
Yeah, he
That's
does all
awesome.
that stuff. He got sent one to you, right, Rad? You have one as well.
I have
sent a couple
two.
to
I'm
Rad.
special.
And I think Toy Domination has one as well. I think.
Yeah, I've
Filling
circulated
out-
a few of them out there.
But yeah, it's really really cool stuff. Because I like how it's like a
Yeah.
a little bit of collage, but then there's also your artistic work in there.
Well, and I got to
It's
give
unique
props.
to
That,
you.
yeah, the little character that's sticking up over the car. That's actually something my wife drew on there. I didn't do that.
Very cool. Hey,
Gotta give
collab.
props. Yep, collab exactly.
Very nice. But here's another one of your urban. So this is why I said the whole viewer discretion advised, because I'm not going to
Oh,
mention
yeah.
it, but if you take a close look at the background, you might notice some stuff
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on there.
It's fairly tame. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but-
I'm not trying to get too graphic and explicit.
That's
but
not
it's-
a big deal. It's really cool.
It's
That's the
the-
kind of
it's
stuff
the-
that you would have seen back in the
Yeah,
day,
it's the
right?
motel, no-tell,
Yeah.
Holiday Inn of my station right there.
But it adds that grittiness to it, which is
It's
what I
that,
like.
yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
lower. That's one of the lower balconies, and I think I sent you a shot of all three of the balconies at one point. But yeah, okay, nice. So on the right there, that's all three of the balconies.
Yep.
So-
Like, so cool. I love this stuff.
yeah.
But I love that record shop, man.
Thanks,
when
man.
I first saw that, I'm like, oh, I love that record shop, because it's like it almost looks like just a hole in the wall, and as you're walking by, hey, you could just pop right in and grab
Right.
some stuff, man. which is
Exactly.
really
Yeah,
cool.
it's the Hesher Park Head Shop record store situation. It's multi-purpose. You can get all kinds of stuff. They got rec and med pricing on the left for
Nice.
patients, and then on the right is where you get the vinyl and the LPs and the wax. And I think Rocket's holding a copy of OST by People Under the Stairs. I think Drax is grooving to some MF Doom, Operation Doomsday. I think Star-Lord's got New York Dolls' first album, and Groot's holding on to
So are
what
these
is it?
just
Repo
things
Man.
you printed and just?
Actually, I did not. Timbo printed those up for me.
Oh, okay.
All the
'Cause
records.
there's an actual guy who does make small little albums. So
Yes.
he has a little. They're supposed to be like keychains. I actually bought the turntables. I had the DVD, not the DVD, the CD turntables. I bought those because I wanted the techniques.
Thanks, Jerry.
But I couldn't find them. But yeah, this is awesome though. So I wanted to continue with the whole urban.
Yeah, quick
feel.
shout out to Timbo. Timbo made those for me. All those little records, very nice. Yeah, that's
Real
just some
talented
roof life. That's the top of the fire station for Ghostbusters.
Oh,
and in the
okay.
background, in the background you can see the Hotel Barbarella and the balconies and such. And in the foreground is, I think, one of the engines of the Razor Crest.
Nice. Oh yeah, because I actually one of the other shots you sent me was like a long vertical picture of your station, but I kind of broke it up so you'll see.
That's fine, but this one I like is because the character breakdowns and the backstories on those annex figures are really cool, and the oak one is neat. Just he's really about like botanical, like he's got like a little plant living in his head, and when the robot's done with his mission, he basically finds a good place for this plant to grow and goes off in the woods and decomposes, and parts of his decomposition aids the plant to grow out of his little helmet.
That's intense, man.
And so that's why I put all those little plants around him. Yeah, I was like, he's gonna live up on the rooftop. I'm gonna give him some plants. So
nice, very cool stuff. Nice shots.
Word.
So there's Boba Fett. So there's the
picture.
The
Boba Fett music. Yeah.
The picture on the right was what I was talking about. You sent me that vertical pic that has your station, but you'll see what I did in a second here.
Yeah, that's just right there. That's underneath that little that whip that you showed earlier. That building I'm working on, the Navarro.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
That's right underneath that is that little area, and it's filled with sand. And my man Toyo gave me lots of shit, and he's like, "Man, you can't be filling your playset with sand." I'm like, "Watch me." And I did it. So what's nice about it is it's mutable, so you can constantly rake it like a Zen garden. You can put footprints in. You can do whatever you want with that. So it's
my place, and I'll do
exactly
what I want to.
Don't you tell me my business, Toyo. But that's just all like foam core stuff carved out, and the throne was from was it 2796 Studios, or probably saying it wrong. Anyway, Bill
on Etsy, or did you get it?
No, it's a guy. It's a gentleman on Instagram.
Oh,
but he did a lot of work with some other fellas. Which the names are escaping me. For some reason I wasn't prepared for that. But I'll get back to you on that, and we can do it in the post or whatever.
It's all good.
Mention who made that. But the throne I bought from someone 3D printed a couple of years back and painted.
Very cool.
And just kind of made the little, throne room area.
So the picture on the right, which is your station, so this is
part of it,
Border Station X. So part of it.
The section that's mostly completed, yeah.
So I wanted to really get in there to show some of the detailed stuff.
Sure.
So I kind of zoomed in on some of the parts. I broke it down a little bit so you could take a look. So I like that. Is that thing at the top left there, just above that really cool tiled building? Is that like your Stargate?
Oh, it's just a light. Yeah, I mean,
I know what it is. I've seen the light before.
Yeah, it's not a lore behind any of it, but I just had it handy, and I was like listening to music, and it's some music sensitive, so it'll do crap in time with your music.
That's awesome.
So from this show onwards, that's your Stargate. So that's how you can connect to the rest of us.
All right. Thus it has been declared.
So that's been declared right
Throwing
here.
Down the gauntlet on that. Okay, cool.
You saw it here first.
So yeah, this is really cool. Like I love the building on the left with the tiles. I really love that building. So yeah, go check out Into the Toy Box where you really go into detail about that. But yeah, this is just amazing. I love the platforms. I could see all the classic Star Wars ships.
That's kind of the Rebel area where I figured I got that Legacy Falcon. So above it, I built like a couple of balconies and then a couple of platforms that came out. Yeah, and on the left is just that
building. I love.
Yeah, where you see that little orange Cloud City car sitting there on the top left, that's going to be the eventual resting place of a 3D printed Blade Runner spinner that Rad sent me recently.
Rad sent you. Cool.
So that's going to be the police spinner is going to sit up there, and that's kind of where those Ennis squares and that Frank Lloyd Wright kind of situation went on for that building. And we got a hip hop club in there, a head shop, a record store, a club for the shorter statured people in the space station. So yeah, lots going on.
Abby, take notes because I know you're working on your station too, so you can get some
Right?
ideas right here.
That
so.
literally is a armoire, like a medicine cabinet where I tore the doors off of it.
Very cool.
So that's where all those little rooms are.
So then now we kind of pan the camera
Nice.
down a little bit, and
Right.
now we're seeing the middle section of that shop.
Right. And so you kind of see like that big gray thing is going to be the hotel. I'm still working on putting some signage up for it. And I also, it's kind of down there by the engine of the Razor Crest is where I need to make an entrance to that building.
So to the upper left, just beside the Falcon, is that
Yeah.
a Lazy Susan that it's sitting on?
No, they're just, well, I mean, you could have made it into one, but yeah, it's just a piece of, a round piece of wood you can get over at Home Depot.
Okay. Very
You know.
cool. So I guess
And
for
I
making
just-
stools and stuff.
Yeah, I screwed it up under the 2x4 that was the street that's in front of the hip hop or the head shop and record store.
Very cool.
So you can put a
Again,
little
like
shit there.
Abby was saying earlier, that the lighting is just so cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, just-
And here's,
Thanks for that.
the
Yeah,
shot,
a lot.
with
Usually
your
it's a lot
Razor
of
Crest.
pucks. Yeah, a lot of pucks and like a lot of string lights. And so it's crazy on batteries. It's not very
I know.
efficient. You know, I like guys like Grime City who's like, hey, watch this, and he flips one switch and his whole station comes on. You know.
That's eventually my goal when I actually build
I'm
the
too
city.
lazy. I'm too lazy to do
Only
it.
because I buy my lights from it's a website called Evans Design, and I buy
Okay.
a lot of my lights from there, and it runs on either 9-volt or 9 to 12 volts, and actually
Okay.
they sell a plug, and they actually have one where you can actually just quickly plug everything in. So you
That's
can
rad.
plug like little plugs, so that way if you want to take them apart, you can make it modular. You have that option as well.
That's a good way to do it.
This is really
Yeah.
cool. I love I love the, as in what's his name would say, ST, is it ST Forge? ST, I forget his name.
STC
STC
Forge.
dial
Yes,
forge. Yeah.
STC. Yeah, he's gonna love all these hazard. Him and Rad, you guys love your hazard tape.
Oh yeah, that was just I just wanted something on the
dude, that's
border, so I
awesome.
just spray painted orange hazard stripes. Yeah.
I remember the first trade I did with Rad. He sent me a box taped up with hazard tape.
I do that with
Oh, yeah.
everybody, dude.
I was gonna say he did the
Everywhere.
same
Always
when
has.
he.
Oh my god, it was so funny. I loved it, man. It was
No,
like, this is
yeah,
brilliant.
he's done that. He's done
Office.
that to me too.
Yeah. Post office
But
always
that-
like, there's nothing harmful in here, right? I'm
No.
like, no.
Right. Yeah, they're gonna ask when they see that.
They do. They ask every time, dude. I'm like, oh.
Well,
what's
yeah,
in
when
here?
you put all those hazard things, what do you think's
You're
gonna
drawing
happen,
attention
right?
to it. It's like driving a
Which
truck
is-
down the highway in the '90s in Humboldt County with like a bunch of Grateful Dead stickers on your car. You're gonna get pulled over, dude.
Just
You
like
know what I
that.
mean? Yeah. So this
Oh,
this
man.
platform that the Razor Crest is sitting on is actually a piece of metal repurposed from a local high school locker.
Oh, cool.
There's like this company locally was making these end tables, and my wife bought a couple for her office space, and then COVID hit and she shut down the office, so I had access to all these weird things. So
I actually thought it was a trunk,
Awesome.
like the top.
it's
of
kind
a-
of got
a
that feel.
trunk.
I did
So-
LED string lights around the bottom, like a one of
Nice.
those strips that you put behind your TV type deal. You
Right.
get them at Walmart. Put that underneath, and then underneath the carriage of it, there's a couple of different like red and purple string lights. So
Brilliant.
thank you.
And that's
And then across from it, you can see that little PlayStation from playset from what was it we were laughing about? Police Academy playset.
Oh,
We're gonna go home and play Steve
Very
Gutenberg
nice.
and Bobcat Goldthwait.
the Blue
so cool.
Oyster. So
Right.
that concludes
Oh,
our
gosh.
picture. So we kind of zipped through those, and
What?
this was a lot of fun, man. It was so fun having you guys on the show today. It was just
Thanks for having me.
I love the fact that you guys were just really interactive with everything. You guys submitted some really awesome creative things. So I'm hoping that the community got some ideas for anything they want to build or customize. You got some really cool ideas today. So I know there's some ideas that I might now incorporate into some of my customs. I'm going to try using some soft goods. Although I'm going
Nice.
to try to make my own as opposed to buying them because I'm, lazy like that. But so yeah, Abby, awesome stuff. I can't wait to see your Titan completed.
All right.
Wolfman, I can't wait to see the rest of Border Station X because I'm liking where it's going so far.
Soon
And-
come.
And Rad, you're always an awesome co-host to have on the show. So you guys are awesome. And until the next video, which is next week. So again, you have until the end of next week to submit your avatars. So I'm hoping to see at least 5 pictures or a short reel. in regards to your characters, so we could show those off the following week. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun in regards to that. And then, like I said, you have until the end of June. So June 27th is your deadline for your Titans. So have those in, and then we're going to be starting in July. We're going to be starting the actual tournament, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys will actually be able to vote the week before the actual fight. You guys get to vote who's going to win that fight. So that'll determine how the fight goes.
Later,
and
Adrian.
how I put the pictures and all that stuff together. So yeah.
Later, Bob. Thanks.
Thank you so much, guys, and all you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Take care, Pirates.
Peace.